This is the Mazz and Bads Show with Brandon Marrazzo and Charlie Baduini.
May 7th, in the year of our Lord 2025, coming to you live, 9:41 p.m., the Mazz and Bad Show. I am your host, Brandon Mazz Marrazzo, joined by co-host Charlito Baduini and producer and the New York Knicks have done the impossible twice. Charlie, unbelievable, buddy. How are we feeling right now?
Bro, I just like you said before we got on here, I couldn't have dreamed in my wildest of dreams that the Knicks would be up 2-0 on the Boston Celtics coming into a series where they were so heavily favored to not win. The Celtics were 8.5-point favorites going into Monday night's game, 10.5 tonight. The Knicks go down by 20 in both games and are still able to find a way to claw back into it and snatch a victory from the jaws of defeat. I'm actually flabbergasted. I don't even know what's going on right now. I don't. I really have no idea. But shout out Jalen Brunson. Tough game, but stepped up in the fourth quarter.
I'm telling you right now,
Nice start here for
man
New York.
needs all the praise for his defensive efforts on the biggest of moments. Mikal Bridges, back-to-back nights, has not even allowed a game potential winner to even get set off. Just intercepting a passing lane right now from a horrible bailout because Tatum got into some trouble. And then the game before, what was that, Monday night? Strips the ball straight out of Mr. Brown's hands. His defense has just been absolutely otherworldly down the stretch. I don't even know what's happening right now. And I got to be honest with you, good for the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau might save his job right this second. But out of everything, I am questioning Joe Mazzulla. What the hell are you doing right now, buddy? What are you doing? They went 10 for 40 tonight from three. The Boston Celtics, of course. Not a good shooting night the other night as well. I mean, they are quite literally living and dying by the three, and they don't need to be doing this. Am I the only one that's like flabbergasted by this game plan?
Yeah, they went 8 minutes without a field goal in the fourth quarter.
I don't
8
think
minutes.
I don't think it's out of the stretch of possibility that the Celtics should have abandoned this game plan, because that's what got them to this number 2 seed. That's what's been driving them over the course of this Joe Mazzulla stretch, has been their 3-point shooting. You have shooters down the wing, you have Porzingis, you have Tatum. It's just a matter they're not making their shots. And 2 nights in a row now that they've just kind of went completely ice cold from 3-point land. I don't think you abandon the game plan just because you've had a few off nights. I mean, this is a team that, you know, I know the Knicks are built around their perimeter defending, so maybe you could attack the basket a little bit more. But really, outside of Porzingis, who is really going to be attacking the basket as a guy that could go one-on-one with these bigs? They're an undersized team. The Knicks have a little bit more size on their end. So it's a little harder for them to maybe try to pound the paint. They got to continue to keep working for those open threes. It's just a matter of, can they hit those shots here in Game 3s and Game 4 and Game 5?
Yeah, dude, I don't know, but 75 missed threes. I just went back and looked. They went 15 for 60, also 25%. Like, when you're shooting 25% as a team on back-to-back nights, like, it is time to switch up the game plan a little bit. Nobody's saying not to fire off a three, but you don't need to be shooting 40 and 60 a night. Like, it's time to attack the basket. You have two of the better athletes in the NBA. Like, go and get after it. Especially, like, every time I see Cat out there, that's a potential defensive liability. He's been doing a solid job, but that is also a defensive liability if we're talking just how things have gone historically for him as a career, and particularly on the Knicks this season. They need to start attacking the paint. When you have Jrue Holiday, especially on that team, like, that's your third option potential. Porzingis needs to get more involved. Even Derek White is capable of going to the rack. Like, for the love of God, I just can't help but feel, but Ime Udoka would never allow this to happen with this squad. That's just me. But nonetheless, this is the year that we live in, and anything is possible. And just like our intro, anything is possible. The most delusional Knicks fans, I don't even think, could have even imagined walking into the Garden and stealing both games. Both games by 1 point.
Time out. That is not the Garden, okay? Let's roll that back. Let's roll that back.
I'm sorry.
It's the Boston
Garden.
Garden.
Boston Garden.
It's not MSG.
You're right. I know.
Mecca.
Sue me. Sorry. The Boston Garden. Nobody thought that they could walk into the Boston Garden and steal 2 of them, let alone by 1 point, let alone Mikal Bridges clamps, let alone erasing 20-point deficits in back-to-back games. Like this, this is just. If I'm a Boston fan, I'm walking around with a bag on my head right now. This is embarrassing.
Well, so I just want to shout out a few performances real quick on the Knicks side of things. Number one, Mitchell Robinson, plus 19, a team high tonight. Just unreal impact when he's on the floor. I mean, unfortunately, the free throws, the hack of Mitch works. It gets him off. But when he's on, a rebounding machine. What's up?
Can I just take a side note on that just because you brought up Mitch?
Yeah.
I think it is the most horrible thing. Honestly, I don't have a horse in this race right now. I believe is how it said. The hack a player that doesn't have a ball. It's the worst thing in basketball. Like if he's got the ball and you hit him, no problem. I don't care if you're 90 feet from the basket. He has the ball. You should be allowed to hit him.
Didn't they
but the
change
fact that
that
you could just foul this guy
after Shaq?
You would thought.
In the last 2 minutes, if the team's in the bonus, it's possession and then also 2 free throws, and you can choose the player who shoots the free throws. But outside of that 2 minutes, it's fair game.
Yeah, we need to get rid of that just entirely. Like, because don't get me wrong, while that is like the most crucial moments of the game and that's where you tend to see it, but this also could affect like in different spots. Now, the Knicks have just gotten lucky twice, but like think about like crucial moments throughout like the game. There's always benchmarks. Why was Reggie Miller one of the greatest players of all time? Not just because of his clutch shooting, but because he'd hit shots in game to keep the Pacers alive within it. So like those moments could absolutely be taken away. It's just the Knicks are lucky twice. I don't know how. This is insane. They don't give up hope, but I would love to see that just completely eliminated. I do not want to see the flow of games stop just because we're going to get some bum free throw shooter at the line. But also, for the love of God, Mitch and every other center out there, learn how to shoot a goddamn free throw. Like, please. Like, practice should only be focused around him hitting free throws right now because he is so valuable being on that court with just altering shots, the defensive rotations, the rebounds. Like, good for Mitch Robinson. He's been fantastic. Continue with giving up props, Charlie.
Josh Hart. I mean, he's known as the rebounder, but tonight Brunson was a little bit off. Cat was spotty here and there. Leads the Knicks with 23 points. Three. Whoa, excuse me. I'm still amped up right now, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like fucking shaking over here. 3 3-pointers. And then finally, Mikal Bridges, Mr. 4 first-round picks, 0 points heading into the fourth quarter. Finishes with 14. And then, Mazz, as you said, the game-winning block, the second consecutive defensive game-winning play. Just absolutely unreal. Just this Knicks team is unflappable. Unflappable.
This is why you get these guys in the offseason. Guys like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Sure, they struggle a little bit in the regular season, the first 82 games, but it doesn't matter. When it comes to these specific games in April and May, when they can show up in the times where you truly, truly need them, that's what makes these decisions, these tough trades in the offseason worth it. And Mikal Bridges, the big steal in Game 1, and now making a couple of huge defensive stops here in Game 2, he is really showing us, maybe not worth 4, but still worth the amount that you're willing to shell out because he's going to be that huge defensive anchor for you guys in these playoffs, and he's been doing it.
It's 4 and a pick swap, okay? Relax.
It's 5, whatever. Listen, anyway, I will say this, though. I said it the other night and kind of got a little crucified for it, but I want to further expand on the point because it's not like the sexiest of comparisons. Guys like Brandon Pajemski is more valuable in the playoffs than Austin Reeves for the sole fact of the defense that, like, these guys don't need to be scoring, right? OG Anunoby does it way better than Pajemski, but, like, it's of that cloth, right? Same thing with Mikal Bridges. It's of that cloth and even, dare I say, maybe even better than OG right this second. Like, both, it's like 1A and 1B. But those three guys...
OG's on Tatum the entire game.
Yeah.
He's the one who's been keeping him in check.
Like,
so
that is more valuable.
Too.
That is more valuable than just hitting, 20 points throughout, like, the game, especially when those 20 points aren't necessarily coming in giant moments, So it's like, when you have guys that can play this kind of defense and then get shots off without having the ball in their damn hand for minutes at a time, like, we're talking 6+ minutes at a clip, and then just to stay ready and firing off. Like, these are guys that are changing franchises right before us, and that is more valuable to me than just going and dropping 20 points. This is what championship rosters have. They have defense, all right, locking in without having to have the ball in your damn hand, setting screens, doing the nitty-gritty work, offensive rebounding, fighting for loose balls. I want a guy like that over 20 points any day of the week if all you're going to give me is just 20 points and it's not even clutch points. Like, it's insane. And man, I'm telling you, we'll come back to the Knicks, I'm sure, at some point. We can stay on it if you want, but look at what happened the other night with the damn Warriors. The best teams, even when stars are cold or not even on the damn court, other guys step up right now. We're seeing it from Mikal Bridges. We're seeing it from freaking Buddy Hield, for crying out loud. It's insane. I cannot remember. Anybody, please tell me a year where we've had not a better finals, because we're not there yet, a better playoffs. Every game in the second round is a goddamn war, and even a multitude in the first were insane.
Well, Mazz, never before has all 4 road teams won the first game of the series in every single series in the semifinals. So this is we are in unprecedented times right now. And then to take that even a step further, what?
6. The first 6.
The first 6, but even the first 4 that's never been done before. So tying that into the next thing, not only are the Knicks up 2-0 in a series where they were so heavily underdogs. The Indiana Pacers are now up 2-0 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I mean, last night, that was just as crazy of an ending as what we saw tonight. Tyrese Halliburton with the game-winning three-pointer with the game on the line. If he had missed, the Pacers lose that game. He takes it anyway and sinks it.
You got to give it even more credit. You got to give it even more credit, right? Because he misses the free throw but grabs his own board, and then instead of passing it out, dribbles it out. And I'm looking, I was like, what the hell are you doing? Make a move, do something. Shut up, Mazz. Dagger 3 with no arc on it whatsoever. I have no clue how the hell that thing went in, but Ant, go ahead, take it away. That's your boy.
That boy, Tyrese Halliburton. I'm just gonna say this right now. He gets overly disrespected in NBA circles all around. I mean, you talk to many NBA fans, it's Halliburton's just a straight pass first point guard. He's not the guy that we really are accustomed to seeing in today's modern NBA. And you know what? Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not the standard archetype of a point guard that you see in the current NBA. But damn it, we might need to see more of these type of guys, because when it comes time for the playoffs, I'd rather have the ball in the hands of a trusted point guard, a guy who could distribute, a guy who can get everybody else involved in the offense, than a guy who could drop 40 points per game on terrible shooting numbers, because he's more efficient. And the Pacers have shown now in the last 2 postseasons, even regardless of their injury luck that they've been getting with teams over the last 2 seasons, like Cavs not having Mobley, not having Garland, and then they're not having Damian Lillard in round 1. Sure, that plays a factor in it. I get it. But they still have to go out there and win those games. And I think the guys like Tyrese Halliburton, who has hit multiple, not 1, but 2 buzzer beater threes to win games in the last 2 series. He's clutch. He's efficient. I think he shot like 10 of 12 or 10 or 8 of 12 from the field in game 2, and he had 9 assists on top of that. He's an efficient, great player in the postseason. Sure, maybe he's not as great in the regular season. Maybe he sort of takes some nights off, but everybody does. Everybody in the NBA does. But now you're starting to see that Tyrese Halliburton, when it comes time for playoffs, he is a prime time player. He's a playoff riser, as Charlie likes to say a lot on this podcast. He is a playoff riser, and we need to start putting more respect on the guy, because, frankly, I get he's in a weaker conference in the East, but he's doing things that we don't really see too often. He might make 2 straight Eastern Conference Finals, beating 2 top seeds on his way to get there.
So I don't disagree with that sentiment at all. Tyrese Halliburton's a great player. Like I said last night in our text chain, I don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to crap on him, because I think he's a good player. I just think I could name 20 players in the NBA who are better basketball players than Tyrese Halliburton. What you see with him is he is on the perfect team that capitalizes on his skill set. The Pacers, they are the most pass happy team in the NBA. They have the least percentage amount of ISO ball. The ball's always moving. That they have one of the deeper benches in the league. You see most teams cut their rotation down to 8 in the playoffs. The Pacers still go like 9, 10 deep. And Halliburton is the conductor, the maestro of that. Not taking anything away from him, because absolutely, you're right. He's had 2 game-winning shots in the playoffs so far. That's unreal. I just think what they got going on there in Indiana is just the perfect situation for a player of his skill set.
My problem with it is, and I'm going to be a little harsher than Charlie, I'll give credit where it's due. Like hitting big shots, and even like last year, hitting big shots. Good for him. However, I just don't think that those moments would happen. I mean, let's not forget, like, the Cavs blew a gigantic lead that they acquired with a bunch of role players. Like, dude, there was guys hitting shots in that game and playing heavy minutes that I've never even freaking heard of, for crying out loud. And Max Strus is out there dunking on dudes, like, for crying out loud. Like, but I just can't help but feel if the Knicks were at 100%, we wouldn't be talking about Tyrese Halliburton last year. If the Cavs were at 100%, I don't think we'd be talking about Tyrese Halliburton at all. Like, the takes that we've had at the beginning, before like injuries really came out, when playoffs started, I feel like we'd be sticking with that same narrative that I'm talking about right now, of just like, good for Tyrese Halliburton for capitalizing on moments where, there's really a big advantage his way that he's taking control of. But if teams were at 100 strength, I don't think we're talking about the Pacers. I don't think we're giving flowers like that. So good for him for stepping up in these moments. But I just can't help but feel, and like Charlie said, 20 players every day of the week, there's 20 players better than him. Is he clutch? Sure. But, Donovan Mitchell's dog tired from playing giant minutes out there. And not only is his best defender not out there, his best perimeter guy's not even out there in Garland to help with the offensive load and the Mobley on the defensive load. Like, so with too many big names being out, and especially like Dame not playing the series before, it just doesn't have the same magic for me, man. Like, good for him. And yes, he is rising right now, but I want to know, can he do it against healthy squads, man?
I think we'll see in the next series. I think if they take on either Boston or New York, no matter who comes out of that series, that's going to be a healthy team. That's going to be an elite team. And I do think Tyrese Halliburton rises up to that occasion. He did. I don't know. I know the team themselves in Indiana got blown out in the Eastern Conference Finals to Boston a year ago. But he himself did not have a bad series. He shot pretty efficiently. He passed the ball like he usually does. I think he's getting lost in a situation. Maybe he can't be a number one on a championship squad, but I still think he's a top 15 player in the NBA. I truly believe that. If you give him an elite scorer to pair up with him, that team's unstoppable. You give him Giannis. You give him Shea. Give him Jokic.
You're asking for a lot, I feel like.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm asking for a lot. Though that two tandem can do it if it's in Indiana or someone else. I truly believe that.
So you're saying he can be a 2?
I think so, but what he's doing with a team that's frankly not great on paper.
Let's just get to it, shall we? And I'm going to hit you with number 2s right now. You tell me them or Halliburton for your money's sake. Charlie, jump on in this. I'm going to start with my favorite number 2 right now in the damn league. I'm not saying he's the greatest. I'm saying he's my favorite. Jimmy Butler or Tyrese.
At this point in their careers, give me Tyrese.
I disagree with you, but all right. You're entitled to your opinion. Charlie, who you got?
Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, not the question, but okay.
What?
No, that's number 2.
No, he said,
I'm giving
he
you
said Jimmy Butler or Tyrese Halliburton.
No. He's jumping on this. This is you. I know. Charlie said 20. Charlie's on the same wave as me. We got 20 dudes, and I'm just giving you number 2s. We don't even need to get to the
Cat
ones.
or
I'm just gonna
Tyrese
hit
Halliburton.
you with 2s. Mm-hmm.
In terms of being a number 2.
Yeah.
Give me Halliburton, man.
Oh my
Give
God!
me Halliburton,
Stop
man.
this! Stop
Give
this!
me
You're
Halliburton,
delusional.
man.
Oh my God!
Give me
All right,
Halliburton.
I need you to stop this
He's
right
a
now.
great
Julius
complimentary
Randle.
piece, bro. I mean,
Julius Randle.
I'm taking
You know what I'm
Halliburton
gonna
over
say. You
Julius
know
Randle.
what I'm
I'm
saying,
Sorry.
taking
bro.
Julius.
yeah,
I'm
sure, okay.
No, I'm
sure,
taking Julius. I swear to God.
Sure.
I'm a Julius guy. What do you mean? I've always been a Julius guy.
I know you've been Julius
Since
guy,
he's
but
left
give
the
me
Lakers,
Tyrese
I've been a
Halliburton.
Julius guy.
But give me Tyrese
You know?
Halliburton.
Oh man,
Jamal Murray or Tyrese Halliburton.
No, you got him, Charlie. You got him right now.
And he
I
loves Jamal.
can't-
He
I
loves
I
Jamal in the
loves-
playoffs.
Playoff Jamal is just a freak of nature, so like, I can't even like. Yeah, I'll give Jamal.
Playoff Jimmy's not.
Sure, but Jimmy's also what 35, 36?
No, right.
So can I tie it back to the series real quick?
Okay, yeah.
We're talking about the Pacers moving on to the conference finals, like it's like fairly like said and done.
It's not over yet.
All right, so that's where I was going. We're not burying the Celtics because we saw them come back from 3-0 to force a Game 7 less than 2 years ago against the Miami Heat in the conference finals. On the other hand, though, the Cavs series, Cavs Pacers 2-0 heading back to Indiana, that definitely feels a bit more like I don't know about wraps, but like a gentleman's sweep at this point because now you got 2 games at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, which that place is very difficult to play in the postseason. Indiana, the people of Indiana love basketball. They love the Pacers, and they're going to be showing out at home for their team.
The people in New York don't like the Knicks. They go back to MSG
here's
for 2 games.
But I get what he's saying right now. Like the star talent that is on Boston, not that Cleveland doesn't have star talent, but are those guys going to be back is the question. Is this squad that we just saw that wasn't able to defend home court, are they going to be able to go into Indiana and be as comfortable as they were playing in Cleveland? Because apparently being comfortable in Cleveland wasn't enough, so they're definitely going to be even more uncomfortable. I get what Charlie's saying right now. And does anybody even know what the hell a Hoosier is? Like, I've been wondering that for a while. I should just Google it, but people of Indiana love their basketball,
I don't even
dude.
know her.
You know? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I'm with Charlie. I do think that if Cleveland gets back to being healthy, I actually might have more faith in them than I do have in Boston if Boston doesn't change up their tactics. Just because I really think they're that depleted and they're missing guys that are that big of pieces in their lineup. So it all depends on whether or not Garland and Mobley end up coming back. For your money's worth, who do you think who's more cooked? Is it Boston or is it the Cavs in your mind?
It's the Cavs with the injuries for sure.
Wait, what's the status on Mobley and Garland? Are they going to be back sometime in the series?
And it's the playoffs. Everyone's keeping these injuries close to the vest because you want a little gamesmanship. You don't want people knowing if someone's coming back or not.
Well, Garland was out in the last series too, right?
He missed the last 2 games of the Miami series. Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect Garland back.
Charlie, I'm gonna be a hoe right now. I want an annulment on our bet if Steph doesn't come back by Game 4.
Okay, that's reasonable. That's fair.
All right, and you got this next one, no problem. Game 3, I'll even throw in there. But if I don't get him back by Game 4,
by the way, Steph's first muscle strain of his career at 37.
37 is crazy.
I'm so afraid because the way that Shams tweeted it out when Charlie sent it this morning was just like, yeah, he's never had it before, so therefore there's really no timetable because he has no clue how to deal with it. And I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? The good thing is he didn't look like he was definitely uncomfortable, but he didn't look to be in that much pain. Like I know he asked for like a quick sub, but like he was still able to get back up on the court, was like gonna play defense for that possession if he had to. So I'm hoping that he's good, but just the longevity, I mean, is in freaking insane, and he really is one of the best players, and I want to see him come back. I actually, dude, I can't believe I'm saying this. I kind of want the Warriors to win another one with this squad, dude. Like, they have just, except for KD coming there, I've just always been a fan of the squads that they put together just because of, like, the guys. Like, I like the style of play. I love, like, the willingness to buy into a system and just do whatever it takes to win. Nobody even gives a shit. Even when KD came, like, for Steph to come off a unanimous MVP and then to be like, yeah, sure, I'll take the back seat, buddy. No problem. Like, that is just awesome to me. So, like, I would love to see the Warriors get it, but then we're going to have a certain conversation that Charlie might strangle me if I bring up again, so...
It's not number one. All right, now I have 3 things. I've been sitting on 2, and now I got 3 things. Number 1, no.
It's yes.
Number 2,
talking about it.
Number 2, OKC is up 40-18 in the first quarter on Denver right now.
They were pissed after Game 1, man.
Yeah. And then number 3, the real quick. I think it was Ant who said the MSG crowd. This is gonna sound terrible, but unfortunately, the MSG home crowd has not been there in the postseason this year.
Well, when you charge $10,000
ticket. In the Detroit series, the Knicks had a better record on the road than they did at the Garden, which is just crazy to think about. And then, the get-in price for Game 3 on Saturday, to not even have a seat, to be in the standing area, is $600. The
Get
real
outta
fan,
here.
the real fans can't get into the Garden for these games, and now so you just have a bunch of rich people sitting in the stands who are not
Yeah.
really basketball fans. They're just there for the Knicks and the New York City, and like
And they're all
it's kind of
50-year-olds.
embarrassing.
They'll fall
It's
asleep
kind of
by the third
embarrassing,
quarter.
honestly.
Like
Correct.
that's the problem I have, man. Like James Dolan, he doesn't care about his team, man. He just cares about the money that these playoffs are going to bring him. He doesn't care about the real fans that are there to actually watch the Knicks win a championship. And I'm sorry, Charlie, but that's the reason why the Knicks, as a franchise, have just not panned out in the last 25, 30 years. It's because they just have these incompetent dudes that care only about the dollar signs and the notoriety and the celebrities that are at courtside compared to actually, winning basketball championships, because they have the squad right now to do it, but they're not going to have the backing of, the stands in their playoff series against a Celtics team who are their rivals, and they should be getting a sold-out, die-hard Knick crowd, but no, they're not going to get that.
Well,
They're getting a
I think
sold out
that's-
crowd, but not a
No, they're going to get the
not a
bourgeoisie
diehard Knick
crowd. They're going to get the champagne drinkers.
Look at Ant reading.
Let
the
me get a
textbook on
$25
history right
vodka
there.
Red Bull.
The bourgeois.
Let me
That's
get a Jack
Good for
and
you,
Coke
Ant.
that's $34.
Ant's been reading up on communism. I see. That's insane.
Bourgeoisie.
Anyway, you watching Peaky Blinders? Where'd you get that from?
I got no
French
it's,
Revolution.
No, yeah, French Revolution, bourgeoisie.
That's what the French peasants called the royal class, or the.
Well, it was first, I think, termed by Karl Marx, if I'm not mistaken, when he was.
The French Revolution predates Karl Marx, so.
Oh yeah, you might be right. Oh crap.
Boom! Charlie
No,
just
you
dropped
are
a
right.
history fact.
Charlie,
on
thank you.
bum.
Listen, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sick. It's freaking 10 o'clock at night. Like, sue me. All right, fellas. I think I'm doing pretty damn good for being sick right now. All right.
Yeah, it's my fault for sidetracking. We were going to the west. We were talking about the Warriors and the Timberwolves, but I took us back to the east. So, yeah. Timberwolves shot like shit the other night. Last night.
I'm so afraid if Steph doesn't come back. But hey, you got to give it to the Warriors for even holding on. And you know who I got to shout out more than anybody? It's not even Buddy Hield. Draymond Green right now. Not for hitting 4 out of 5 threes.
Defense,
not
man.
for taking over the offense and directing the ball like he's been known to do, like a maestro. Not for his lockdown defense that is still coming through, carrying over from the regular season, being a DPOY candidate again. His temper check. He came out after they got into that scuffle with the Rockets. He came out and said, I got to be a better leader. I saw him peacemaking, particularly when Jimmy Butler ended up getting tangled up with damn, I forget who it was, but Jimmy got tangled up with somebody, and it was Draymond who was like calming things down. Like, he really is buying all in and just like, yo, it's we have a weird situation going on here where even though we're a 7th seed, we could really make a run at this thing if Steph gets back. And we got to hold the fort down while he's out right now.
Didn't their
Good for
last
him.
championship, weren't they a 7 seed?
No.
2022?
No. Yeah, I think weren't they like a 4? Charlie,
They
can you
might
get
have
that
been
for me?
3. They might have been 3.
They were 3.
They were 3.
Okay.
Yeah. They were
it
7
was
the last
somewhere around
couple of
there.
seasons.
You know, I mean, dude, a 7th seed. I've never seen just 7 seeds being and like 3 seeds being so close in my life.
the West,
or
man.
was it 2 seeds?
Well,
You know, like
Miami went to the finals as the 8th seed
Yeah.
2 years ago.
That's also the
Jimmy
Eastern
Butler,
Conference,
that's my
dude.
friend.
Everybody's in the Eastern Conference. Miami and Boston
Dude.
run that conference for a decade.
I need Jimmy to turn up on offense a little bit here, especially in this game too. Like, he's passing way too much for me. Like, go out there and kill something, my friend.
I don't know. I just think I like, especially without Steph, the Timberwolves are going to be too much to handle these next few games. It's just
Like Papa Cafone just said, you
Yeah.
got to get the job done.
Yeah, you,
all right?
you hear
It's
him in
not
the
gonna be
background.
easy.
The Yankees are
I
going.
heard him, baby.
The
I
Yankees
love
are
him.
going
I
on
love
right
it.
now.
I love it. You
tough.
got to get the job done. You got to keep it going. This is the passion that comes out of the Cafone household. I love it. But fellas, we got a lot more going on with the NBA. Obviously, we'll get to that. Real quick though, Jokic the other night, insane. I still think OKC is going to be fine though.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it was a very similar game to the Knicks, where OKC was in control for just about the first 3.5 quarters, and then Nuggets make a late push. I mean, Aaron Gordon, who somehow I dug into this later that night because I was just so confused as to how it happened, but Aaron Gordon went from a 29% 3-point shooter last year to 42 this year on more attempts. So it wasn't even like the volume decrease. He was taking more and knocking down more of those shots at an extremely efficient rate. So shout out to him for knocking that shot down. And then, yeah, Jokic with the 40-point, 22 rebound game, just absolutely ridiculous. But
I'm saying this right now. The Nuggets are somehow able to get past OKC, get past either Golden State or Minnesota, and then beat whoever's in the East in the finals. Jokic, 2 titles, 3 MVPs. You got to give him top 10 all time. Top 10 all time. I'm willing. I'm willing to give him the top 10 label.
all right, but like, who you booting out though? Who you booting out though?
I'm booting out Wilt. He'll be at 10.
Yeah.
I'll give you there's a discussion. Well, the thing that we were alluding to the other before, I said that if Steph wins this championship, although very unlikely, but if Steph somehow
top 5 player all
pulls
time.
this one off, I'm gonna be honest with you. I got LeBron 3, and I think there's a damn conversation to be had about where Steph is because he's been eating on this man's watch, bro. Like, and that would be one of the hardest championships. Like, this one would be up there with Dirk's freaking championship.
Steph's had a stable core his entire career.
I get that, but Steph, if he got this one done with the odds, this would be on Dirk Nowitzki level, my friend. It would. Like, Dirk's still better. It's just it's in that territory. Like, it'd be an insane chip.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, the killers that he's had to go through, sure, but like Dirk had a washed Vince Carter and Jason Kidd on his team. Steph's gonna have Jimmy Butler and Draymond, sure, maybe in the later stage of their career, but they're still productive. Dirk was by himself, frankly, in that run.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, there were some good vets.
Sean Marion, that was your vet.
Yo, Sean Marion was solid, dude. Come on. Yeah, horrible, shooting form. It still went in, didn't it?
Oh.
And great defender,
Oh, the Yankees must be doing something right now. Oh boy, we're going crazy with the Cafone household here.
But listen, I just.
You guys are missing a 2 home run game from Juan Soto today.
Yeah, what's he finally batting now? 250.
Does it look like I care?
Hey, he's been hot over the last like 3 weeks. All right.
Listen, I don't know what the stats are right now, but I couldn't pull it up. But I was hoping that like it lasted before like we got here. Obviously, they just went up with 2 home runs, but I had like a player A and B, and like the player A was way better than player B just for this season. And player A was Trent Grisham, and player B was Juan Soto. And I got my Mets fan brother-in-law with it, and he was just head down, just like, we're gonna be okay. And I was just like,
we're gonna be okay.
And I was just like, I know you are, but just know, I got you for tonight, or at least these couple of minutes. And he knew I got him. So shout out Dan. But what I wanted to say is this too. Coming back, last thing on the playoffs for me. If Ant Edwards does take down Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, I think it's time for a new nickname because I don't like Ant-Man. It's not great. It's we need to start calling that kid the Legend Killer.
Kratos, the God
Legend
Killer.
God Killer. Ooh, that's a good one.
I gotta say, did you watch that Netflix series with Ant Edwards and LeBron? What was it called? Player.
I didn't watch it, but I saw like clips of it.
It was like the NFL quarterback series on Netflix, but they did it with NBA players. It was Ant and LeBron. And LeBron said in the last part of the first episode, LeBron goes, I'm not going to retire until I see somebody that can usurp me on the throne, and I yet have to see that player. And they cut. It says Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's like a car like revving up, and it's just Ant in his car driving to the arena. He goes, I'm not scared of nobody. That being released earlier in the season, not knowing that Ant Edwards was going to take LeBron out potentially in LeBron's final game ever, is the coldest thing of all time. LeBron could retire, dude. I know Charlie don't want to believe it, but he could. He could absolutely retire.
All right, okay, Ant. Do you really think that LeBron would retire without going on a Derek Jeter, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar-esque farewell tour where he's, welcomed into every NBA arena
Oh
and
yeah,
given
I
a
know
gift.
LeBron's
and
ego would want that, but I also think LeBron's body is starting to realize I don't know how much more I can do of this.
Yeah, he still looked.
You think
okay
he
to
can
me.
go
We
through
didn't
another
lose
whole
because of
season,
LeBron.
Charlie?
We
I
didn't
mean,
lose because of LeBron.
he plays
James.
60 games, yeah, why not?
You know. He could listen. Nobody shuts it down better than LeBron. He takes very good care of his body. All right, like
I think he's
I
been
wish-
slowing down. I think we're finally starting to see the.
I mean, he's 40. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I know
it's- the
exactly.
cheeks can only-
Exactly. He's not going to be LeBron forever.
I think what Ant should have said is that potentially seeing LeBron James in his last Laker game, because I do think he's coming back one more year. It's just where's he gonna be? You know,
I think he'll be
He'll
a
be with the
Laker
Lakers.
next
If-
year.
if he's not-
he's leaving LeBron, he's leaving Luka.
trade his ass. Trade him.
They're not.
He's got a
gonna
player
trade LeBron.
option. It's up to
Nobody's
him.
going to trade for LeBron.
Hey, Milwaukee, go pair up LeBron and Dame. Let's go take a
Who's
shot.
going
with
to
it.
trade for LeBron? Nobody. You
don't
think
know.
you're going to
I got
get Giannis
plays-
out of LeBron?
I got
Yeah,
got
you're
pipe dreams
smoking.
right now, buddy.
There's
Give
only
me whatever
one
you're
place.
smoking, man, because it's
I
definitely the
got
greatest
pipe
stuff
dreams
ever.
right now. Let me live.
There's only one place where LeBron would go, and that's back to Cleveland for one last ride potentially.
New York.
No,
He always wanted
No.
to play at the Mecca for a
No.
full season.
I'd say Miami.
No, he's not going to Miami. Not happening.
unless he's forming another super team in Miami, he's not
You
going.
know, there's-
Like,
there's
if
something
he
else-
goes to Cleveland, he's stepping into that. You know what I mean? Like there's already a team that's built there.
I just thought of one more basketball thing. Can we get a round of applause for Mr. Greg Popovich calling it a career for head coaching? Now stepping into his what do you
El
say, the El
Jefe.
Jefe role?
El Jefe
Yeah, I
role.
love that. That's fantastic.
LFA.
The El Jefe role, which I got a question. Is this a good move? Still a lot of pressure. It ain't coaching, but it's
He
like-
was that's where he started with the Spurs. He was hired as the GM initially, had a terrible first season, fired the coach and said, "All right, I'm the guy now."
get
He
out
could
of
do
my
it
way.
again. He could do it again. He drafted Tim Duncan, didn't he?
When did R.C. Buford become a guy like prominent in that?
Good question.
Because that was like the GM of GMs for like a minute there, dude. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
I just
You gotta-
googled R.C. Buford and he's a
Think
movie
about this
producer.
now.
What?
Pop is what, 76 currently?
I don't know.
He's like 76. It's just, I don't know how much more that man can go. And I think we all knew that Pop was going to go until he goes, you know, like that's just who he is. That's his mentality. He's a workhorse. I think also his wife passing away a few years ago, he doesn't want to retire and just be like by himself. He wants to still be around people, still be in the building, still make some decisions. I think the president's job is not as stressful as GM. It's not as stressful as, you know, COO, CEO, owner. It's just like I think it's more of like a consultant type of role that he's going to be in, which I think is perfect for him. He can watch tape, he can give some input here and there wherever he needs to be, and you know, I think mostly he could probably do it from home if he needs to.
And forgive my whiteness, but El Jefe is the man, right?
Boss.
The boss. Okay.
They brought out Duncan and Ginobili for him to drop that.
I saw that.
I love you, Charlie.
I
Come on,
wasn't
Tony.
sure.
Tony, you couldn't fly across the goddamn Atlantic to be there for it. Are you kidding me right now? But yeah, RC. I don't know if you have the right RC Buford. He was president of the Spurs. He assumed GM role, I believe, in 2002.
Didn't they win a championship that year?
Yeah.
No.
No, 2002 was the last
That's-
Kobe
that's-
Shaq.
That's the Lakers.
Yeah.
They won the
yeah.
next two
03
after
they
that one,
won it.
right? After
Right.
Nope. 03 was the Spurs. 04 the
Pistons.
Lakers lost to Detroit, and then
Yep.
they won 05. And then there was I forget who won 06, but then who the hell won 06? Why am I drawing a blank on 06? I know
That
that
was
they
the
won 07 as
Spurs.
well. No.
Oh
they
no!
won
Oh,
07.
Miami Heat with Shaq and D Wade.
Nope, thank you. Duh, idiot. Come on, Mazz, be better. But
but
yeah,
after,
I know
after
they won
Buford,
07.
it was Bob Myers who took over that role as like the premier NBA GM.
Yeah, but like Buford was just, they were drafting guys, you know, you never even heard of. Every Euro guy ever, an impact, I like exclusively played for the Spurs for
Tiago
a hot minute.
Splitter.
They
Yeah.
found Kawhi in the
Forced
back in the
DL.
first round,
15th overall, I think.
something like that.
I think it was 15. You know, I was just thinking though, right? Is it time for potentially Eric Spoelstra to step into that role and somebody else to,
let him
you know?
coach.
I don't know.
He's seen
know.
the Heat through some pretty tough times before, and was able to get
I
him
know,
back to
but-
that pinnacle again.
Dude, I just got to start questioning the decision making that's going down in South Beach right now. Now, you guys know I love The Godfather,
Wait,
but
you think
I
he's
don't
do
know.
a Brad Stevens type of thing?
Yeah, I mean it's worked out wonders for Brad Stevens. You know,
Yeah, but Brad Stevens never won a finals.
sure, but I'm just
Suppose
saying.
a multiple-time finals champion.
I know. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't do that.
Just saying.
I wouldn't do that.
He's getting up there a little bit. He's getting up there.
He's in his 50s.
All right, guys.
Yeah, but he's been coaching for a while, fellas. Last thing, that's all we got for NBA talk right now. We need to get to the most important news in NFL right now.
It's so nice that we have a breaking news NFL story because I'm not gonna lie, I've been loving playoff basketball and I've been really enjoying getting into MLB this season. But damn, I miss me some football. I do.
Oh,
I
bro,
really do.
we got football, Charlito. Don't worry. Not just draft. All right, even though there was draft competency exchanged, we got to move. We got not
A
only
blockbuster. I'd call it a
thank you.
blockbuster.
Yeah, it's a blockbuster. No matter how much somebody wants to downplay it, all right? No matter how much people don't love this, not only is this breaking news, this is potentially game-breaking talent acquisition, my friend, because the Dallas Cowboys finally have a number 2 wide receiver that is not a rookie CeeDee Lamb part. CeeDee Lamb gets paired up with George Pickens, and all it cost them, I believe, a 2026 third-round pick and a
5th-round pick in
later...
2027.
Thank you.
And they get Pickens and a 2027 6th.
Good deal. You
Great
make that deal? Damn good
I
deal.
love- damn, dude. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is a guy who has put up 1,000 yards, 800. I think it was 800 yards. Just came off of 900 yards and had 1,000 yards between that. And it's been a rotating carousel, a clown show at quarterback going on, and not to mention 2 clown shows of offensive coordination going on there for a franchise that just keeps on piling on defense, does not give a damn about offense because they don't think that it wins them anything, even though the last time that they've been to a goddamn Super Bowl, they've had a top 10 quarterback all time. Jerome Bettis in the backfield for crying out loud. Hines Ward catching balls, but offense doesn't freaking matter, right? Listen, George Pickens, some of the best hands in the damn game, spectacular catches through the freaking roof, all right? And this is with double coverage, not because you have to necessarily double coverage George Pickens. He's a really good wide receiver. I'm not saying he's great, right? He's
Hands
not on
need
that
work.
Jay Jettas, that CD. I
Hands
don't know
need
about
work.
that. I think those hands
He
are
dropped
great.
5 of 6 passes his last game of the season
Listen.
last year.
Listen, he's playing with bums at quarterback.
He is undoubtedly one of the best 50-50 ball guys in football, without a doubt. If you throw it up to Pickens, he's got a 50-50 chance of coming down with the ball no matter what. No matter who's throwing him the football.
This is doubled because there was nobody else to worry about. All right, like Pickens is good. I like him. But this guy he shouldn't be doubled in a scheme. The fact that he's able to do that, that's fantastic. Now, to pair him with CD, I'm a little worried about how the personality is going to go around. But listen, I think we're going heavy pass offense. I think there's going to be enough ball to go around. And Dak has been dying to swing the ball to other receivers since they had that San Francisco game. And he was force-feeding CD where he got picked off multiple times. This is a great thing for the Dallas Cowboys, my friend. And we got an ROI, return on investment, like I've never seen before. Jerry's out here making competent freaking moves, and it's not draft night. This is friggin' fabulous.
So, Mazz, you and I love it for the Cowboys. Ante, you like it for the Cowboys or no? Like surface level, is it a good
for
move?
The Cowboys. As a number 2, I think George Pickens is a fantastic option to pair alongside CD Lamb. You talk about the Cowboys last year. Outside of CD, especially in games when CD wasn't playing, you saw the dip in how, frankly, bad the Cowboys were really are. When Brandon Cooks wasn't even in the game. Brandon Cooks wasn't even nearly on the same scale as George Pickens. You saw the dip in numbers with CD. CD needs an absolute dog, number 2 wide receiver on the other side of him. It's just how it works. If he doesn't have that, he's not going to be as productive as you want him to be. So now you get that good wide receiver 2 to pair up with him. Cowboys running game is still suspect since they didn't draft a running back in the draft. So they're going to have to pass the ball, 45, 50 times a
Jaden Blue?
game. What?
Jaden Blue?
Starting running back for the Texans due to injury because C.J. Baxter went down.
Texans? You mean Texas? Longhorns?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yes. No, dude, I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
He could be solid.
He could be solid.
He could be solid.
But they're going to throw the ball 45, 50 times a game.
That's what they should do when you have a top 5 quarterback when healthy.
Okay. That's what they're going to do. And it wasn't working when you didn't have a number 2 wide out. Now you're going to have number 2 wide out, so it's going to work.
I got a decent tight end, and you know what? Maybe I'm a little greedy. I know there's a certain veteran out there. Maybe you can get him for the low. Maybe. Mr. Allen, Keenan, come on through. Come on. I'm asking for way too much right now. I know. I'm sorry, but
you need a speedy slot guy. You need a speedy slot guy. Dude, that's what you need. Keenan Allen's good, but he's a little washed. I would try to go after someone who's speedy, maybe a veteran wideout that you can probably get.
CD likes being in the slot every now and then.
Sure, but no. You're not going to waste CD every single snap in the slot.
I know.
So we love it for the Cowboys. Why on earth would the Steelers do this? I can think of a few reasons, but
2 reasons. His contract is up Mr. Pickens' contract is up at the end of the season. He already told the Cowboys, "I'm not re-signing. I will test free agency, and I have something to prove." Which, unfortunate that we're not going to keep him for more than the season potentially, most likely. But that kind of a mindset for one season can be deadly, and I'm here for. He's been a headache for the Steelers. They knew that they had to get something for him. I mean, they got peanuts on the dollar for it. Maybe they should have traded him the year before, but I'm just very confused. You bring in DK. Rodgers isn't signed. What the hell was the point of it? You think you're re-signing DK? He didn't even want to go there in the first place. My man was a little.
They gave DK got an extension as he came through the door.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know, man. How's that gonna work? Because he didn't want to be there in the first place, and then you said, "Screw it, you threw the money at me," I guess. But I'm very confused on the state that is the Steelers.
There is no state.
Are we gearing up? Are we that sold on Will Howard? Which, fellas, can I just tell you the biggest sham in all of sports content? Not that it's bad, I love it. It's just like the false sense of bravado that you get from watching this. Gruden's QB camp has got me hyped for Will Howard, somebody that I have criticized the entire damn season since he slid against Oregon.
I think maybe they made this trade in the mind of acquiring more draft capital and maybe trying to make a move at somebody else, maybe a quarterback potentially.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Next year's draft or like this summer.
I mean, they could trade up. They could trade up next year. I mean, they just extended DK, so it's not like they're in this primal state to win right now. But I mean, they could trade for a quarterback now. They could trade for a quarterback maybe next year. Trade up in the draft, because we all know that they're not going to tank. They're not going to be a bottom 5, bottom 10 team in the NFL. They're still going to be competitive because they're the Steelers, for Christ's sake, and they're going to go 9-8 like always. But
I think Rodgers is coming. I mean, I know he's not signed yet.
Why would you do that? Why would you trade Pickens?
Because you got Robert Woods, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson coming into his second year out of Michigan. Maybe when Rodgers signs, you give the Jets a 6th-round pick for Alan Lazard. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Stinky. Something smells here.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be delusional, but I spent 40 minutes with Will Howard and fell in love. Everybody says that they love football. This guy, I don't know what he's going to be. I do know that he was fantastic on the road to a college championship, and they got the job done. This guy actually loves football. He's got me believing in him, and 40 minutes. So imagine having an interview, watching the workouts. Like, I fully believe that they think that they hit their guy and they got a steal in the 5th round with them, you know? So, was it the 5th? I think it was the 5th.
It was 5th-round pick, I think. Yeah.
So, I think they're just gearing up for potentially giving a shot at a Will Howard season here. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers is coming still, but I think that the long-term plan. I think the long-term plan is to get Will Howard on the field. Like, I think they fully believe in this guy. Or I'm just delusional because they did such a good job in that Gruden camp. But mind you, I watched 3 of them. Quinn Ewers is a guy that I enjoy, And I thought Quinn Ewers had the second best one. Will Howard impressed the hell out of me. The only problem is I question the arm throw strength because even on the highlights that he had at Ohio State there behind. But I don't know. I have no clue. I do know this. Cowboys, A+. Steelers, question mark. What the hell are you doing here? They absolutely lost this trade. We fleeced them.
Steelers also got Caleb Johnson in the third round from Iowa, who's
The running back?
Yeah, another stocky big guy like Najee.
He's going to be Najee 2.0. You can give that
Yeah.
guy the ball 100 times a game and he'll be fine. It's going to be, again, 3.6 yards a carry probably
But
because there's nothing else to
healthy.
worry about it outside of one receiver.
But the thing is, at least Najee, we don't know about this guy's health. We know Najee would just stay healthy for 17 games a year.
If anybody's watched any Iowa ball, they refuse. They were incapable of throwing the ball this year. Like, they just force-fed that kid, so.
They can know. Iowa is not known for their offense, so.
No. They're the complete opposite. One of the best defensive teams in the country every year.
Yeah, So, they're the Steelers 2.0. He's used to the system, right?
They're black and gold, too.
Black and gold. He's keeping with the scheme. The guy's comfortable at home. Fellas, last thing here. I was meant to ask you guys, like, outside of, like, giant names and excluding Shador in the fifth, who do you guys think got, like, the steal of the draft for you? Like, I'm thinking right now, Miami ended up, like, taking shots with Quinn Ewers and Ollie Gordon the second. I know Ollie didn't have, like, host to, although that Oklahoma State team was trash, and, Ewers got a little bit of the injury history. His GM apparently got some inside scoop. I don't know if I believe or not. Teams had him in the third and fourth, but they were just afraid of him being the second backup. I don't know, but I honestly think that Miami could potentially have the two steals of the draft if it pans out.
I think the Steelers in the fourth round getting Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. That's a fantastic thing.
That's yours?
Yeah, dude.
He was supposed to be like a top 10 pick like last year, right?
Yeah, and he just fits the Steeler mold. Like 6'4", 260, edge rusher who's got good run stuffing ability. You put him on the other side with T.J. Watt, like that's just dynamic duo right there. A fourth round pick for Jack Sawyer is an absolute steal. Like I'm sorry, I was a Ravens fan. It makes me mad because when I was watching the draft live, and when they picked Jack Sawyer, I went, no. You got to be kidding me. That dude was clutch too. You saw that college football playoff. He made that big interception return on Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, Charlie, you got
does Mike Green count for the Ravens in the second round or no?
I'll take it. I love him
because he's first round talent.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll give it to you.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously some of those character concerns.
Charlie, it's not the sexy take I was hoping for, but I understand why you're saying it. The kid's that good. I got you. No. Also, last thing here on football, a couple of undrafted guys that can potentially have an impact. Donovan Edwards, huh? Jets. How would you think of it, Charlie?
I mean,
this guy was a cover athlete and then fell off. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
But my diet.
Only problem is the Jets running back room is pretty crowded. You got Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and now you got, of course, Mr. as you said, NCAA cover athlete Donovan Edwards. So we'll see what he does in preseason and training camp, and maybe he can crack the roster.
Shout out Kyle Monangai, Chicago Bears, Rutgers football.
Kyle Monangai.
I'm very surprised that he went undrafted.
No, sure, he went 7th round. My bad. He went 7th round.
Okay, it was still late. Late. I'll give it to you. And then Mr. Shiloh ended up with Tampa Bay, huh?
Craig Shiloh? No,
Shiloh Sanders.
Fellas, I want nothing more than for Shiloh Sanders to become the next Rondé Barber. All right? Just because nobody gives a damn about Shiloh, and I want the kid to get some damn love. All right? But we'll see what happens, man. Football season right around the corner. We got to get through this. Last big news of the day, and I'm teasing future content for us. The Utah Hockey Club finally has a name, and due to copyrights, it's the only thing that I can think of as to why you don't go with Yeti, because Yeti was awesome. You have the Mammoths, which I think is an A- name.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's unique. I love uniqueness. I'm sick of tigers. I'm sick of lions. I'm sick of bears. Oh my. Eagles, bulldogs. I'm sick of all of those. Let's get something unique out here. Love it.
Love it.
I just like Yetis more.
No, Yeti made so much sense. It just rolls off the tongue.
Oh, it was just good. It was so good. It's just, but this is honestly an A+.
And
I'm
it's
just hating
hockey,
because I like Yeti.
cold, ice, Yeti. It just makes so much sense, dude.
But Mammoth, man, when you think of a mammoth, you think of the frozen tundra, right?
I think of
Mountainous.
Yetis. I think of Yeti. I want Yeti. This is dumb. No, you know what? No, I don't want this. I don't want Utah Mammoth. No, I want Utah Yeti. That was the team name. That was the team name that made the most sense.
You know,
this is no. Don't convince me.
I
on
know
this.
why he
Don't
hates this.
convince
Do
me
you
on
want to
this.
know why he hates this?
Why?
Because being a Devils fan, he loves the mythical creature aspect to it.
Yes,
And
awesome.
he's upset.
It is awesome.
That's it. That's the only reason. But listen, we'll have a tier list coming your way later on in the week where we will rank the best logos / team names in the NHL. Obviously, because the new expansion franchise, which has already freaking been playing, finally has a goddamn name. So let's keep it going. Finally getting some hockey content because Lord knows we are not the hockey guys. So, but there's good hockey content out there. You can find it. But if you're looking for us, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, anywhere else you get podcasts, at Mazz and Bad's Show. You already know what it is. Brandon Marrazzo, Charlito, Charlie Baduini, and producer Anthony Cafone. We will see you next week.
Peace.
You have been listening to the Mazz and Bad Show with Brandon Marrazzo and Charlie Baduini.